Question. What does this package of meat, what does this hamburger bun, what does this frozen block of spinach, what does this bag of tater tot type food, because it's the generic version, and what does this box of fish sticks have to do with any of this? Back in a minute, we'll talk about it. Hi, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. You know, usually on Sunday, I usually reserve Sundays to make my Sunday sauce, but which includes usually meatballs or slash meatloaf. Here's what my meat sounds like right now. It's a brick. I'm going to drop it again. It is a brick. I can't do anything with this. It will not be ready in time for me to do my recipe the way I like to in a timely manner. How many of us have at some point or another, because of a simple act of forgetfulness, made us forget to take down the meat, which can actually compromise your dinner plans. And in some people's case, they become so vulnerable, they pick up the phone or head over to the restaurant, even if at times it's really not in their personal best interest financially. If you could do it, you do it, fine. But if you shouldn't, try not to. But lo and behold, this brick of meat is still here. Okay, so I had to reschedule that for Monday. So this is going to stay defrosting. I'll put it properly back in the fridge until tomorrow. Okay, no big deal. So what do you do? Like, okay, so what about your dinner plans? There's this beautiful hamburger bun. By the way, this it's not a product review show, but I'm going to suggest anyone who has never tried, go to get the ballpark hamburger buns. They are like the way a hamburger roll is supposed to look like, with a little shine to the top. Because over time, I noticed hamburger buns lost that shine and shimmer. These are really, really good. Well, what does this have to do with anything? Okay, so now what? I have to figure out what I'm having for dinner. So this is where the freezer was the enemy. Well, not so much the freezer, but me forgetting about it, because now it's a brick. But this is where the freezer could become my friend, because this is the night I could do some sort of frittata or casserole if I so desire. This is why I ask everyone to make sure you have some form of a frozen vegetable, sort of like chopped spinach or chopped broccoli, to make those frittatas for those nights when you just forgot or you just want it. Now, what does this have to do with anything? This is a bag of, this is called Tater Bites, which is a store brand version of tater tots. What can you do with this? What could you do? What do you do with your tater tots? Just wondering. Let me know in the comments section below. But this makes a great casserole. You could make a tater tot casserole. The sky is the limit. You could just grab it from the freezer. See, these items you could get right from the freezer, and you could just use it immediately in your oven. Can't do that with meat. That's not possible. It has to get ingredients into it. It has to get molded. It has to get shaped. Now, I want to also mention something to you that I tried. I had other brands of this. This brand is really, really good. So let me show it to you in a better way so you can see it. This brand, you would think I was 10 years old, because I like fish sticks as a grown person. This is a very convenient food to have. This particular box contains a whopping 44 sticks. Now, what does this have to do with this bun? So I was reminiscing about a fast food item I used to love when I was a kid. And, certain fast food stores, some places call it one kind of fish sandwich. Another store calls it another kind of fish sandwich. You could replicate the thought by baking up. I bake these up for 18 minutes. Okay. Follow the instructions. About 18 minutes is about the correct thing to do. And I'm telling you, so you only need about 5 per roll this size that it would fit in. And if you're extra hungry, make it 6. You could eat one outside of the bun. So what I do when I want some nice hearty meal, I will bake up a few of these, let's say 6, family of 1, on a baking sheet for 18 minutes. Then when it's done, I put it simply on this bun. I don't keep tartar sauce in the house, not because I don't like tartar sauce, but I don't really use it often. So in my case, I use a swap out. I take, let's say, a teaspoon of mayo, and I will layer the top of the bun with a thin layer of mayo. You could always spice up the mayo if you want to put a little dill in it or something else in it to make it a little more, snazzy. So these are alternatives. The point of this video is this. If something goes wrong, and this can happen to anyone can think they took down the meat. I intended to take this down yesterday. Then you know what happens. You get caught up in other things. I figured I'd take it down yesterday so that I would have it easily and readily available for tonight's dinner. But it didn't happen, and that's life. So, okay, so instead of me blaming myself forever, I'll say, well, now I'm a little early for tomorrow's dinner. That's all. You got to always look for the bright side of things. Always try to look at the bright side. And these rolls, you could buy these rolls, these beautiful hamburger buns. I'm telling you, with the shine on it and everything. You could buy these rolls. And by the way, don't just limit yourself to hamburgers for hamburger buns. Just saying. This is why another thing I wanted to mention. These fish sticks on this kind of roll with a little thin layer of mayonnaise. And you know what some people do? Because they used to serve this, I remember at school, when I was teaching. They used to serve a thin layer of melted cheddar cheese on top of this type of product. Can I tell you something? It really changes the characteristics of the whole meal. But for me, just enough to have the few fish sticks on here with a thin layer of mayonnaise. And if I want to, I'll just have a simple garden salad. And there's my meal. 1, 2, 3. No fuss, no muss. So the next time your meat, I can't believe how hard this meat. It's just unbelievable. Next time that you forget to take down your meat on a timely manner, always know to look again in your freezer or in your extended pantry. Now, if I didn't have these other items, right away I would go to my extended pantry and figure out what to do. What would you do with tater tot? Hey, this is a good question. Let me know. Let's pretend that same thing happened to you. What would you do with any of these items? Let me know. Get creative. You guys are so wonderful and so wonderfully creative. I'd love to hear from every single one of you what you would do with stuff like this. Would you go along with the meals that I just did, or would you add another twist to it? Would you bump it up a notch or two? Just wondering. Or maybe you might have to go to your extended pantry and look for something in the can department. As long as you have canned meals, you're always okay, or something else in the freezer component. Thank you so much. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Hope this doesn't happen to you, but if it does, get creative. Keep these things in the freezer. Going to close out the show, and I'll be right back. Widow Wave, be right back. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care now. Bye-bye.